Hold on a sec. That's it. Welcome to Modi'in. Today we will be visiting a unique place which is a bit over 100 meters from my home, so we won't be going there physically. We're starting off with the view from parking, a little bit lower than the parking lot. I'd like you to notice that we're in the lowlands. We're around 300 meters above sea level, and in the background you could see the mountains of Yerushalayim. And here we go. This is a map taken from Umdan of the first time someone came to this area and checked it out was Clermont Ganot in 1870. If I tell you a mistake, I'll 1878. He came here as a researcher of the PEF, and he found the place called Umdan, the area circled by orange. Can you see it? And what I'd like you to notice is also, I don't know how good I'll be in doing this. Let me try to animate. Here we go. Okay, I'd like you to notice this road. You see? This road going here, and this road going up here, and another road over here. We're in a series of roads that go up from the area.
Please mute. Can everybody please mute? There's a lot of noise.
Please mute. Please mute. Thank you. Okay, so when Clermont Ganot comes here in 1878, what he finds in Umdan is some ruin with pillars. He actually finds pillars, and that might explain the name Umdan, the mother of the pillars, translated from Arabic. But we'll look at the name a little bit later on. Are we talking about Modi'in? Are we talking about the place that's mentioned at Modi'in in all our sources? So here I'm taking you to the Mikveh map. Come on. Wait, I have to get out of this. Hold on. It's new for me also. And here we have, of course, Yerushalayim that you know, and below Yerushalayim, we have very free translation, Modi'in, home of the Maccabees. Can you see that? And you can see that the location is west of Jerusalem, surrounded by other places which are known around the area, Anabek, Farut, and others, really not far. Excuse me. Someone's talking.
But guys, whoever hasn't muted theirs, please mute it now. I cannot mute everyone. I can only, if I mute everyone, I also mute Margolit. So please mute yourselves.
Okay. So now we're going to try and find out what our sources are about Modi'in. I actually am going to talk about the location and not the sources that you'd be thinking about right away, like the book of Maccabees. So we have sources from the Mishnah, the Gemara, and the Tosefta that mention Modi'in in a very interesting way. We will start, don't look at the things, I don't know how to take them off. Don't look at the arrows. We are starting with the Mishnah from Pesachim. And it's actually nice a few days before Pesach to see not only the Hanukkah connection, but also the Pesach connection. So let's read the Mishnah. Ezoi derech rechoka, what's considered a far way? Min hamodi'in velachutz uchemidata l'chol ruach divrei Rabbi Akiva. What's considered that I'm too far away to get to Jerusalem for Pesach Rishon, and Modi'in is considered the border. The distance to Modi'in, actually, because also from all other directions. And we have the other one is from Tosefta Chagiga. Mina Modi'in Mivilfanim, you can actually read it better than I can right now. נאמנים על כלי חרס דקים לקודש. מן המודיעין ולחוץ אינם נאמנים. Translation, if I buy a dish out of pottery from Modi'in and towards Jerusalem, I can trust that it was made with purity. If I buy from Modi'in towards the west, it's not trustworthy, which means, again, Modi'in is considered to be the border of purity, the border of distance to Jerusalem. And the Gemara, let's go back to the Gemara. We're going back to Ula, the beginning of the Gemara, if you see my little thing over here. Amar Ula, mina Modi'in Yerushalayim 15 milim. So Ula thinks he's living at the time of the Gemara. Does he know where Modi'in exactly is? I don't know. But he says it's a distance of 15 Roman miles. According to a few options, it's 25 kilometers, which is more or less the distance of our Umdan. And that's what's going to maybe help us think that this is the original Modi'in. In any case, I don't know if you know, but modern day Modi'in is one of the places that has the most modern digs. These are all Chafirot Hatzala, as they're called. These excavations are done because of the enormous amount of building here. We have surveys and digs, and actually the municipality here is very careful and willing to at least what they can keep intact, and hopefully we'll have a museum in the center of town with all the finds. That's just something you should know when our tourists will come back, hopefully. And while they were building a road in Buchman, in my neighborhood, they knew already that Umdan exists. At that time, they thought it's the size of 10 dunam. Turns out it's over 25 dunam.
Okay, tov.
It's you.
כן. זה לא קיים הבוקר, אז איך יצא?
25 dunam of archaeology. And 2001, as we were talking about the road there, we did quite a large dig, and we can.
Margolit, you muted yourself. We can't hear you.
Just a second, I'll call Judy. Can you hear me now? Alan? Okay. So in 2001, Alexander On Zichrono Livracha and Shlomit Wexler Dolach, who is digging now in the past years around the Kotel, dug, and this is the plan of the dig, just to put you into perspective. This area over here is the main road, the Shderot HaChashmonaim, and you will be coming from around
Margolit? Margolit, you froze. Hi, what's going on? You're not muted. You can unmute yourself.
No, you muted me by mistake.
Hi.
No, I can't unmute you.
Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to figure this out. Hold on, because you froze also. Hi.
Yeah, no, but that after second open. Wait, no, now I'm for some reason not connected. I'm going to go in again. Yes, go in again.
Should I call Margolit?
No, I'm talking to her. We got a little problem. It's okay.
She has to check her internet. Maybe her internet is down. That's what happened to me a few minutes ago.
Yes, Oni says that you don't have internet.
No, I don't know, but I'm just saying my internet went down a few minutes ago. It seems to be a problem.
Okay, her internet is coming back, guys. Be patient.
Okay. We'll wait.
Hi. It's not off. It's not showing me that you're here. It doesn't show me that you're waiting. Usually it'll tell me someone's waiting. Oh, there you are. Here you are. Okay. We're just Margolit got knocked off, so we're just waiting for her to come back on.
Judy,
Yeah. Okay, you're on again.
Okay, sorry. Are you good?
Everybody, I muted you, but you can unmute yourself if you want to ask a question.
Okay, so let's just continue. This is the dig that was done. What's important for us is when we walk down from the parking lot, as I said, technicalities later, we are going to see
How are you?
two
Hair?
wine presses, and then we'll see this room, a little bit of this, and of course the center of what we'll be talking about will be the synagogue, which is what's very important.
Margolit,
Yes.
excuse me. I'm going to mute everybody again and unmute yourself, okay?
no, that's your sister.
I wasn't able to.
Who's she?
Can people unmute themselves, please? I'll just continue, Judy.
What's her
I'll just
name?
continue. Okay, so
What's
this
her
is
name?
the synagogue. They actually found, you'd see 4 levels of this building. This is the last stage that was destroyed in the Bar Kokhba revolt. You could see that there's an entrance from the east and an entrance from the north. The pillars that we mentioned before, Umdan, the Amudim, only the bases are left today. None of the pillars, they were all pillaged. And I'd like you also to notice this little stone. Not much of it is left, but when you go there, you could see the base. You could see here that there are seats, like in Metzada, Gamla, Herodian, and other places. But this actually is one of the oldest synagogues, if not the oldest in the world, because the first building that they found from the Hellenistic period has coins from Antiochus III and Antiochus IV. That means at the time of Hanukkah, there was a very simple structure and sitting exactly in the same place. Later on in the Hasmonean period, they expanded. And then the Herodian period, more or less, it got to this stage, and that's how it was. In reality, this is how it looks. I am facing south here. You could see the eastern entrance on the right-hand side, to the right of me. And you could see the bottom layer of the benches. What I want, if I can get it, I don't know where this ran away to. Where I'm standing, if you look to my left, that's the base of one of the pillars. To the right is that weird square that we saw before. The second. Here we go. Just 1 second. Okay, this thing over here. Okay. Hold on a second. Sorry. Okay. I'm sure all of you visited Magdala and saw the beautiful stone structure, the stone piece over there with all the beautiful carvings of the menorah and so on and so forth. Are we looking at something similar that was built of stone over here? Not one piece of stone, but a few stones together and covered. Are we looking at a bima? Could be. And it can also be, we know maybe there was something more impressive here, but we know that something was stolen from here. Someone made the effort to dig down in that spot in antiquity and try out whatever was there. We'll never know what it was, but if you're going to guide here, I think if your emphasis is synagogues, you can for sure mention Magdala and talk about Bimot, and that synagogues at the time were used mainly centrally for reading the Torah, and who knows. And let's continue. Another interesting thing that we can't see much of in the reconstruction, but more or less over here, there was a seat that looked a little thicker, a little more impressive. And one option was that this was like Catedra de Moshe, like they found in Korazim, maybe a chair for the head of the synagogue, head of community. Another thing we can see over here, you can see this dark area. This is an entrance to a few underground caverns, however you say it, a few rooms that could have been used in the Bar Kokhba revolt, but most probably were used also much earlier, and they found inside some intact vessels, including cooking vessels, and the coins starting off from even the time of the first rebellion and earlier. This is the mikveh that's sitting right outside the shul. As you see, it's exposed. Here are the steps coming down, and here is the entrance. The mikveh was carved into the stone, and then the building was built over it. We'll talk in a few minutes about purity in this area. Right next to the mikveh, they found this stamp, which it's a little hard to see. It is Hebrew, and it does say cham'ah, which means chometz. It means vinegar. And next to it, another stamp that has maybe a little bit of imagination, grape leaves and grapes on them. So if we add on that we found what we could see today, 2 wine presses, vinegar, and a stamp of wine, we can for surely imagine that this was one of the main productions of this community. And if you'd like, it was found not far from the mikveh. It could very well be that the mikveh would have been used for the farmers. In my opinion, it was, since the proximity is right next to the synagogue, it's connected to the synagogue, but both options are there. And now to something very interesting, which we will not see, a little enigmatic. And these are 7 burial sites, burial caves in the area. I really tried to find out where they are, but you can really see nothing. My house is more or less over here. And they're all covered up. The burial caves were not dug up inside with respect to the religious feelings, especially the Haredim, of course, are so sensitive about it. But here you could see a round stone, an Even Golal, covering one of the entrances. If you visited Susia, at the entrance to Susia, you remember there's something very much like it. And over here on the bottom, you could see what we see in many of the burial sites from Second Temple period, a courtyard with benches where the people could visit before going into the grave itself. As I said, the graves here were not all of them at least explored. They did have they found a few aswaris, but mainly this is an earlier stage when people took the bones and put them in a central area. So that means that these burial caves are maybe from the time of the Hashmonaim, and at least by what Shlomit Wexler-Dolach says, they did not find a pyramid above one of the structures, but they did find enough stones that there might have been what we call a nefesh, the structure of a pyramid above, which brings us now to some of the other sources. So now without pictures, let me just go to the nice pictures at the beginning. Sorry. So when I guide in Umdan, I usually open up the book of Maccabees and read out the beginning of the rebellion. At the end, I sent all the sources. So afterwards, if I don't know, you can use this or take a picture. In Maccabim Aleph, Maccabim A, we have two things that are connected. One is really the beginning of the story of the Maccabees when the rebellion starts in Modi'in. And the other is when Shimon builds a memorial over the graves of his family with, what's wrong? Of the family, sorry, with the pyramids on top. Now, nowhere were pyramids found. All the other options of where Modi'in is it what's called Chovat HaGardi? Thank you. Is it somewhere that we didn't find yet? They found burial sites from the period, but nowhere did they find pyramids. Here, there's something that's similar to what we have in Kever Yasson, in Jason Yasson's tomb in Rehavia. That means that there could have been pyramids here. So that's one thing. So we have those two sources. We have the sources of the Mishnah. And we have here 100% a Jewish village, which is important. The synagogue, the mikveh. I did not show you any of the finds, but stone vessels like we find in other places. The Hebrew, the cham'ah, that was found. Location, at least according to Shlomit Wexler-Dolach and Alexander On, this is Modi'in, this is the original site. At this point, until there are other sites, this is what I like to present as Modi'in. If you ask other researchers, they'll have other ideas. What we'll do now is, I'll give you the sources. So the first and second are the sources of I didn't find anything more than that. The first one is from Kadmoniot. I'll tell you also it's Kadmoniot 130, if you want to jot down. That's what I mainly based the things on. Umdan, Kfar Yehudi, that's by the archaeologist. The second about the burial caves. The third is Maccabim, the important sources. The others you saw along the way from Psachim and the Tosefta. Machane HaMikdash has a very, very interesting part about Modi'in. And here they continue Masechet Pesachim where we started and discussing what a long way is and if you have to do Pesach Sheni or not. And they write, and what happens if you're in Modi'in along the road and it's crowded with people going up to the temple and you can't make it? Can you rent a fast horse to get there? Do you need to do that, or can you wait to Pesach Sheni? There are also some great pictures there, so please, these are great resources. And before questions, I'd like you to join me in this YouTube. Hold on, I'll put it on. So we'll see how it looks in the site. Oh, it's so nice to see everyone. I didn't see anyone before. YouTube. One, no, hold on 1 second, please. Yeah. Okay. Can you see? Okay, enjoy. This is around 2 minutes. We're here in a parking lot, some beautiful new homes, but here's a secret. When we were building this road, you could see, they planned to have this road go straight where we are standing, and they found the Jewish village from 2,000 years ago. And the name of the site is Umdan. Okay. What we do find are ritual baths, mikvehs. At this period of time, Second Temple period, Bet HaMikdash in Jerusalem is standing. Purity is very, very important. We're right now under the sky, but of course this was in a house. They found here coins from the Bar Kokhba period, but also back till the days of Hanukkah. Until this might be actually was the period of time. Oh, we have the answer. Ding, ding, ding. Is Umdan, Modi'in, same letters, the same sequence. Up a little bit, could very well be. As we saw, it's 100% Jewish. Mikveh, Synagogue, stone vessels that they found here. The period of time is right. Location is good. So again, unless we find a sign Caverns was here, this is Modi'in. Okay, Aviad, stop share. Hold on. Aviad, okay. Judy, you could unmute questions. We have a few minutes for that.
Slicha?
Mark.
Okay, does anyone have any questions?
Yes. Hi.
Slicha?
I have a question. When will the museum be open for people?
Wait a second, I'm going to mute everyone again. I'm sorry. All right, Chava, unmute yourself and ask.
Okay, I was wondering, when will the museum be open for the public?
Ask again, please.
When will the museum be open for the public? Like, what, is it open already, or?
Okay, the museum is going to be not far from the Azrieli Mall in Modi'in. They created a city center there, which is a little bit funny. And there's going to be an archaeological museum dedicated to Modi'in. What exactly will be inside, I don't know. Doesn't exist yet, but most probably it will be super modern with screens and the archaeological artifacts and whatever.
Will it also, like, are the digs open? I mean, not right now, but are the digs open for the public? Sorry. Are the digs open for the public in general to just go in? Do we have to, is it like a park where you have to pay a fee or?
Okay, so now technicalities. First of all, the site is open. There are no fees. Put in ways, which is something we didn't use in the past while. Umdan, and it will bring you to the parking lot. The parking lot, if you want to jot down, is on Reuven Street. There's a very large parking lot for buses or on the road. Both are fine. I like to start my guiding in the parking lot itself, which is a little higher up. And then there are steps and paths, which 90% of the year is easy to negotiate. If you're there after a very rainy day or so, then there are a few puddles, but it's possible to pass them. When you start walking, and this I'm just walking you through it, when you start walking, the first things you'll see will be the first wine press. And what's cute, they planted there some grapes and also pomegranates and almond trees, so you can actually see the grapes next to the wine press. Later on, you do see a few structures, but you stay on the path, so you can just look a little bit. There is a beautiful fig tree over a waterhole, over a big cave. You could talk about that. But the major thing is to get to the synagogue and sit down. There's partial shade. There's like a white structure above it. There's seating. To go down to the mikveh, if I'm there with a big group, I send people in small groups, like 5 or so they'll be able to go down and up. And you will have the noise of the road, of Shdeot HaChashmonaim, but beyond that, it's wonderful. So it's open at all times. The flowers around there are beautiful, and any time of the year it's good. Bathrooms, very, very important. In the Moriah Center, Merkaz Moriah, which is also a good place to stop for a snack or whatever. You can for sure use the public bathrooms over there. Wash your hands well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I hope that answered most technicalities. There are other sites around from the same period of time, Chubat Ashun and a few others, but they're not yet set up for the public like this.